All right, students. So this week you would have received your hard copy if you came by and picked up your diorama boxes, as I put a hard copy in there for you guys. If not, there is this Edpuzzle video that you are currently listening to. Hooray! And then we also have the access link on the Reading Skills Classroom site. You can click on that and read the article yourself. But this Edpuzzle is a graded assignment, so make sure that if you haven't started it, that you're watching it, or if you hear somebody else in the background watching it, maybe it's a friendly reminder, or you hear somebody's computer mic's accidentally open, and you're like, what are they listening to? Well, now you know. All right. 13 ways to get involved in the 2020 election, even if you can't vote. So, as many of you know, this is an election year. There's a lot of information going on, a lot of issues, but even at a young age, you can be an active participant and be involved. So, let's find out some ways. This article is by Laura Anastasia. Here is what's happening on November 3rd. People are going to make decisions that could alter the course of your life will be elected, including the next president of the United States. Will your rights be protected? Will you be able to afford college? Will more jobs come to your community? The answer to these questions and many others may depend on the government officials who are chosen to serve you. You may not be old enough yet to vote to elect these people. You have to be at least 18 years to vote for president. But guess what? You have power too. Here's how you can take an active role in the upcoming presidential election as well as in local, state, and other federal races taking place the same day, no matter how old you are. Number one, inform yourself. Find out who is running in your local, state, and national elections and what those candidates stand for. At ballotpedia.org, under 2020 elections in the navigation bar, the vote411.org, compare the president's candidates. Views at 2020election.porcon.com and visit votesmart.org/election/ballot measures to read about proposed change to your state's constitution. These sites are non-partisan, which means they do not side with any political power or party. Number two, volunteer for a campaign. Visit your favorite candidate's website to explore ways you can pitch in. Campaigns may need help contacting potential voters, often through phone calls, letters, and texts. Identifying supporters now makes it easier to remind those people to vote on election day. Plus, you'll get an inside look at the campaign process, key info if you want to run for office one day. Number three, talk politics nicely. Discussing the issues facing our country can broaden your perspective, especially if talk with family and friends who have different viewpoints. But keep the conversations respectful. Here's how: try to speak face to face or over the phone rather than over social media. Ask questions about what the other person thinks and why, instead of just making statements about what you believe. And attempt to understand the other person's point of view and discover common ground, rather than simply trying to persuade him or her to switch sides. 4. Make your own opinions known. Use your knowledge about the candidates and the issue to teach or persuade other people. Write an editorial for your school newspaper or submit a letter to the editor of your local paper. You can also start a blog to share your thoughts on the election. Number 5, ensure that your family and friends vote. Ask your family and older friends if they're registered to vote. If not, encourage them to learn how to apply ASAP at vote411.org or vote.gov. Then make sure they know where and how to cast ballots. They can find their polling places at vote411.org. Because of the coronavirus, the majority of Americans can vote by mail this year. Visit usa.gov/elections-office to find out the options in your state. Finally, in the weeks leading up to November 3rd, remind your loved ones to vote. Mail in ballots should be sent at least 8 days ahead of the Election Day deadline. Number six, throw a debate watching party. Invite friends and family members to watch a debate with you, either in person or by video chat. Candidates for president and vice president debate on national television, while states and local candidates often debate on local TV and radio stations. Set the mood by serving red, white, and blue treats. Then compare notes as you watch. Ask, what questions would you ask? Which ideas do you agree or disagree with? What do you think of the debate format? Presidential election pandemic style. The race between Donald Trump and Joe Biden is full speed ahead with some key changes. Virtual campaigns, social distancing guidelines necessary to slow the spread of COVID 19 have forced the candidates to eliminate or cut back on campaign staples such as handshakes and selfies with supporters. Instead of giving speeches in packed auditoriums, the candidates are relying more heavily on for online events and connecting with voters through social media. Battleground plans. The pandemic has altered the candidates' approach to battlegrounds or swing states. Those are states whose voters have flipped between the two major political parties in recent elections. Trump has scaled back his in person visits to them, while Biden has mostly appeared virtually. But both candidates are still spending heavily on ads in those states. Mail in voting. Because of COVID 19, many states have changed their rules to make it easier for people to cast ballots by mail, saying it is safer than voting in person. But some people are concerned that the Postal Service won't be able to handle a sudden flood of tens of millions of mail in ballots, and that any delays can mean that many voters will not arrive in time. Number seven, hold a fundraiser. A donation of money, even a dollar, can help support your favorite cause or candidate. Earn cash by selling toys you no longer want, holding a car wash, or doing yard work for neighbors. You can even start an online fundraiser. Be sure to explain who or what you're collecting money for and why doing so is important to you. Number eight, call or write to elected officials. Tell local, state, and federal leaders that you think what you think about important issues through phone calls, letters, and emails, especially if those leaders are up for re-election this fall. Find their contact info at usa.gov/elected-officials. Not sure what to say? Try starting with I strongly support oppose. If enough voters contact an official, they can affect his or her decisions. Follow when and how your elected officials vote on issues that you care about at issuevoter.org. Number nine, campaign a cause. Want more support for homeless teens? Think plastic shopping bags should be banned? Pick an issue you're passionate about, then do some research to find an organization that is addressing the problem in a way you agree with. Finally, figure out how you can help that group, such as by organizing a fundraiser, participating in a Twitter campaign, or writing letters to news outlets. Look for different opportunities and ideas at pointsoflight.org, dosomething.org, and ybc.org. 10. Bust election myths on social media. Sort fact from fiction on that social media, especially before sharing shocking election news. News stories should be free of opinions and present different sides of a conversational topic. They should also support claims with trustworthy sources. Think government experts or university professors. If you discover something is false, share the truth instead, including facts and sources to back up your post. To learn more about identifying reliable news stories, turn to page 14. Who's being elected in your state? Number 11, start a petition. The First Amendment gives Americans the right to petition the government for a readdress of grievances. That's a fancy way of saying that we can tell the government if we don't like what it is doing. Anyone 13 or older can create a petition at petitions.whitehouse.gov. State your goal and how you think the government should achieve it. Then share your petition. If you get enough signatures in 30 days, you are ensured a response from the White House. Number 12, get involved with your local politics. Your local government decisions affect your daily life, so pay attention. The city council might debate funding for a new skate park, or the school board might update the dress code. Attending meetings to stay informed, either in person or virtually. Check your town website for meeting dates. Some public meetings include times for audience members to speak, so ask questions and share your thoughts. Number 13, keep the election on people's minds. Make election signs for your yard or front door. Post voter registration reminders on social media or support a t shirt or hat promoting the importance of voting. You can also make and share videos about your presidential pick and why this election matters. Seeing how much you care about the election could inspire others around you to take a part in it too.